What's up, guys? Uh, Today we have Sam here. Good friend of mine. Been knowing him for a while. Kind of grew up in the church together. We I would say this was like what we're doing here now. This guys discipleship group we rekindled, and I feel like we're on the good things here. Today he's gonna be telling us a little bit about himself, like where he's been, where he's going, things he's dealt with, where he's been doing in this past time, and yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. And, give it up for Sam.
Go, Sam!
What's up, guys? I'm excited to be on. I've really appreciated getting to hear you guys' stories, and I'm excited for you guys to get to know me deeper and just talk. I love talking. I think it definitely helps our minds work through things, so I'm excited.
To talk?
Yes.
Cool. So, start out with a little easy question here. So, what are some of your favorite things to do?
So the biggest thing in my life right now is probably disc golf. I play a few times a week, depending on how busy I am. But go out with friends, go out with my family. My dad and brother both play. Go out with my youth minister. Just going out as often as I can. A few years ago, a really big thing for me was martial arts. I did Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I trained for 4 or 5 years. And it was a huge part of my time. I'd be there 5 days a week, training at least 4 hours a day. Just all the time. Like, it completely consumed my life.
So you could take us.
Oh, for sure.
Like 3v1, you'd take us.
Yeah.
Matt's right there, buddy.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, after this, that may or may not be recorded.
Hey, if
But we'll
any of
see.
us are not in the next video, that's why.
It won't be me not here. It'll be
It
one of these guys.
probably won't be Sam.
Or all 3 of these guys. This may be a solo endeavor. But anyway, so martial arts are a big thing. I don't train right now, but I definitely plan to start up again during or after college. I also took up weightlifting 5 or 6 months ago, and that's been a lot of fun. I did a little bit. I was in pretty good shape for martial arts, but it's just nice. Like, it's very relaxing. It's a really good therapy. Helps create a really strong mind, some would say, and it's great. It's a vibe. I also like playing ping pong. Oh man, that's crazy! I just got a tape measure thrown at me. It's time for me to measure my biceps, as I do in every video. All right, CJ,
Measure.
I need your help with this, buddy.
Measure. You might win.
Oh, if I win, I'm losing it. Get the peak. Get the peak.
Get the meat. Get to the meat potatoes. How is he shaking, dude? Why is his forearm so much bigger?
What are we at?
Get the biggest part. Get the biggest part.
14 and a half.
I would say 15 on the biggest part. Let's
Redo? A redo?
Yeah, redo.
That's crazy.
That's
It was
all
too
the way.
close. It's about 14 and a half.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. The gym's been working, guys. That gym's been working, guys. We may...
Cooper is not the biggest,
I'm the biggest guy here. You heard it here first.
Sam is the biggest guy here.
After that, I also
Still
use my
can't bench
muscles
more
to
than
play
me.
ping pong sometimes. I like beating my friends. I went to an after party recently after prom. Beat everybody. It was a good feeling. I like going hiking with my family. I've been going on overnight trips since I was 4. At one point in my life, I wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail, which goes from Georgia to Maine. It takes people like 6 months to do it, but I don't know if I'll do that now. But I love hiking. But yeah, those are the biggest parts of my life for sure.
What are some of your least favorite things? At the moment?
Dang. Well, the first thought that comes to my mind is cats. I don't really know why I don't vibe with cats. I just don't. When I was young, both my mom and my best friend's mom, who I was really close with, both of them were allergic to cats. And I was like, there's no way cats can be cool, like if both of them are allergic. And I don't really hate cats, but like I say I do. And it's kind of a personality now.
Dogs
Like,
are better.
Dogs are for sure better.
Dogs are
Like, if
better.
I come home, like, I don't need an animal bringing negativity to my life.
You
Like,
strike me as a cat person, though.
I strike you as a cat person.
You strike me as a cat
I
person.
don't know, man. I don't know.
You're not a cat person.
Maybe after this, you know me better, and then it'll be like, oh, he's a dog dude for sure.
Yeah, you a dog.
I'm a dog. But yeah, so, and then I also say just like laziness, honestly.
That's what I said my entire thing on.
That it's pretty much for me or other people. I feel like, especially as an oldest sibling, like I'm very much somebody that's like, I need to get things done. I want things to be happening. If I'm alone, bored on a Saturday watching YouTube, I will never be in a darker place than like after a day of lying on the couch. I'm going to go crazy. I can be productive, like working on something for a while, but if I'm not getting out and moving or at least doing something productive, like I am not happy at all. And so I also don't like if I perceive other people being lazy. If maybe I'm working and they're just lying around, I can get really irritated with siblings or things like that. But yeah, those are my biggest things. I like to stay at least feeling as if I'm doing something productive, even if it's just watching disc golf sometimes.
What are 3 topics in Christianity that really interest you?
So, a lot, honestly. I'm realizing more as I get older how much I really don't know. But I would say really understanding the Holy Spirit and the active role that he has in our lives, and just really understanding like the way that the Holy Spirit works through us. Worship too. I think worship is so special. The way that worship is not about us. When we're worshiping, we should not be thinking about ourselves. We should not be thinking about how we sound or look or anything like that. It's giving it up to God. But I think a lot of times during worship, God does this incredible thing. And I often will say this in prayers before we worship. Like, God, please help us to focus on you. Help us to just completely view this as an offering to you and you only, and not think about others or ourselves or anything that we have going on except to glorify you. But God, I also pray that you would help us to feel you in this moment, and that even if we don't, that we still worship you. But God, I pray that you help us to feel you too.
Amen to that.
And that's really, really helped my mentality going into worship. Like, whether I feel God or if I don't, I'm going to worship the same way, because he's the same God. He's just as perfect, and he deserves all of my praise, all of my time, all of my love. So yeah, I would definitely say those are 2 really big things. I'm also just really looking forward to learning more in the future and really developing my stances on a lot of issues, and just being as knowledgeable as I possibly can of the Bible.
Yeah. Now let's learn a little bit more about you. Can you tell me a little bit about the big picture of your life? Like, tell me some things that you've gone through, some things that's happened. Like, let's get a little, like, your life story. Give me your life story a little bit.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, I'm not from here. I'm from a little tiny town. It's about an hour and a half from here, and named Abbeville, Louisiana. And I grew up there, mostly me and my brother. I've got 3 younger siblings, but there's a big age gap between my brother and my sister. So it was just mostly me and my brother for a long time. And where we lived in Abbeville was rough. There was a lot of crime in the area. And we also lived like 40 minutes away from our church. So it wasn't very easy to go back and forth at all. We weren't like able to go outside or go for walks very often, just because we had to be supervised and everything, because it was so dangerous. We had several like gunfights on our street. Anyway, so a lot of my time in Abbeville was very isolated. I really, really loved the church we were with, but it was pretty small. There was only 2 or maybe 3 other kids in the youth group. And we were close, but I still only got to see them like once or twice a week. And so when I was 10, my dad got a job in Baton Rouge, and we moved here, and it was crazy. We started going to a church that was way, 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 way bigger, like 5-6 times bigger, and it was a big shock, and it really made me have to realize the kind of friends I wanted, because I really wasn't given a choice. I really only had like 3 friends and we were close, but just so many new people, and I had to decide who I wanted to become, and like learn how to make friends, because they had pretty much just been given to me because I known them my whole life. And so that was a really, really tough part of life at the beginning. But I would absolutely say today that moving to Baton Rouge has got to be one of the best things that's ever happened to me. The amount of opportunities, the amount of friends I have now, my life would be on a completely different trajectory if I still lived in Abbeville. And I am so, so grateful that God has helped us move into Baton Rouge. When I was 9, I'd been raised in the church my whole life. And when I was 9, which is pretty young, I decided to be baptized. And I just remember thinking one day, like, man, like, I know I believe all of these things. And I have doubts sometimes, but there are never, like, when those doubts come and I get through them and find that, like, God is bigger than these doubts and that there's always an answer. Like, I always know that I'm stronger on the other side. And so when I was 9, I decided to be baptized. And not to say my life has been completely different since then, but I've definitely lived much more intentionally. And in a few months, it will be the point where I've spent more than half of my life being a baptized believer than not being. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel that.
All right. So, why are you a Christian today? And what ministry experiences have impacted you, and what have impacted you the deepest overall?
Yeah, so at this church in New Iberia was probably one of the biggest impacts. On Wednesday nights, we'd have a class that was just me and my friend and her mom. And she would dive so deep into things and speak to she and I, who are like 9 and 10 or 11, or younger, or just a little older than that, really about everything. She did not hold anything back from us at all. We talked about Revelation. We talked about all of some incredibly deep things. And it really, really matured me quickly, and helped me get a really deep grasp and deep appreciation for all of these things. I'd also say the camp I go to is one of the biggest impacts in my life. I'm out there for the last 2 years I've been out there for a month straight as a counselor, and that's really helped shape me as a leader, and just really been an incredible experience. The way you can grow so much closer to God and to your fellow counselors, and learning how to work together, as well as just learning to lead kids. But yeah.
Amen, man. So let's zoom in on your life a little bit, man. Can you think of 2 or 3 really difficult things you've kind of gone through and experienced?
Yeah. So, of course, the move was one. That's become a very beautiful thing now. But I would say probably the biggest one was in February of 2020, right before COVID. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and that was terrifying. Especially right as COVID was coming up and events started getting canceled and things, and like my dad was still at home, and we didn't know everything that was going to happen with him, whether he have to go through chemo or what was going on. It was really stressful as a family. Like, we were thinking about selling tons of things because we didn't know how much money this was going to take and how long we'd be without a working parent, because my mom homeschools, she stays home. And it was terrifying. But over the next few months, we were blessed so beyond measure. And my dad is now currently cancer-free. And it's been fantastic. Yes, sir. So blessed. I also went through near the end of last year, a pretty rough breakup. It was really difficult, but ultimately, it just came down to that I had looked the other direction when there were red flags that I saw, both on my end and on her end, and it just was not the God-oriented relationship that I needed to be in, and I absolutely wish her the best, and I hope that the ending of the relationship would be what both of us needed to really find our faith, to really find the right person for us who pushed us to be the Christian that we're supposed to be. Yeah, so it was hard, and but God is good, and we're getting through it.
Yeah.
So, staying zoomed in, can you think of 2 or 3 major victories you had in your life?
Yes, sir. Well, the first one that comes to mind is in playing disc golf. There's this hole at my course, and it's about 430 feet, which is longer than a football field from field goal to field goal. It's blind, so it's over a hill, so you can't see the basket. And I was playing with some friends, me, one of my friends from martial arts, a local pro, and another guy who's now a professional. And I walk up and I throw this shot, and it goes over the hill. And one of my friends who's playing with me calls for it to go in, and then we hear it smash into the chains of the basket, and we all lose our minds. Like, there's no way that just happened. We run up, and it was in the basket. It stayed. It didn't spit out or cut through or anything. And
Wow.
we lost our minds. It was insane. We took pictures. It got posted on Facebook, and that was over 2 years ago for sure. And I still have people come up to me like, "You're the dude that aced hole 16 at Highland." And yeah, so it was probably one of the better. Well, definitely the best ace that's happened at that course. The same ace has happened since, but definitely like it was a wild time. I'm also going to be graduating soon in May, so that's been a really big victory getting through homeschooling. I've never been in a public school until I was taking the ACT. So I feel like that's also a big victory for my mom. Like, she's very proud that she did it. And then also, one of the opportunities that I got to have when I moved to Baton Rouge was the opportunity to be a dual enrollment student at a local college. And that was super scary. I started that at the beginning of junior year. And so since I'm homeschooled, I was able to go to classes in person, fully surrounded by college professors and college students. And nobody knew I was 16 until I told them. And like, it was really intimidating, but I'd say it's a victory because I was much more prepared than I expected to be. And like, it's been fantastic. I love the classroom setting. It's really done well for me. It's made me want to go to college. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, but it's like, I love it. It's totally my thing, and it's been awesome. And I'm really glad that I've been able to since I've been in Baton Rouge.
Sounds like a massive W.
Yes, sir.
And that sounds like so intimidating to be
Dude,
surrounded by
terrifying.
college people.
Yeah, they're huge.
That's awesome.
I'm a tiny little kid.
For the next question, I want to know, what's the main reason that you agreed to be part of this men's discipleship group right here?
Yeah, so I remember my youth minister friend was talking to me about it in the car, and he just brought it up, and I was like, I mean, that seems really cool, but I wasn't sure how serious it was, or if it was like really going to happen or what was going on. And then he was like, I think the next time we hung out, he was like, hey, yeah, we're having this discipleship group where you're going to learn how to be an online missionary. And I was like, dang, that's really interesting. I'd never thought about that before. Being an online missionary was never something that I was like, oh yeah, that's totally my thing. But I thought about it more, and I was like, I plan to be a minister somehow wherever I end up, and the experience that this group will give me and the impact that I can have on other people's lives, hopefully. But even just the impact on my life, like I think it will make me much more adept at ministry and all of these skills that are extremely useful, whether ministering formally to a church or anything of that nature.
All right, that's cool. That's super cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, last question, man. What do you have, or what do you hope that your future looks like?
Well, I know I want a family. 4 kids, probably, hopefully. I don't care
Jeez.
that much. I like kids.
Yo, what?
I'd say that sounded weird. I'd like to have kids, but yeah, I'm looking forward to have kids. I like to be very involved in a church, whether I'm formally involved in ministry or it's just casual things like Bible studies on Friday nights or anything like that. I just really want to be prepared for ministry, and that's one of the reasons I plan to go to college for Bible. I really just want to be as knowledgeable as I can. I know I love college, and just really, really being prepared. And there's nothing that makes me more excited than being able to study Bible like all the time. Like that sounds just so awesome to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. The current plan is to double major in math and Bible. I love math. I love calculus. But that could change. We'll see.
Yeah, man. Well, it's better. It's great to get to know you and be able to understand like where you come from and where you like plan and where you want to prove yourself to go one day. So yeah, let's all give it up for Sam Haviland.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
The rain's falling fast, reminds me of you, 'cause it's falling hard and I am too. The rain's falling fast, reminds me of you, 'cause it's falling hard and I am too, and I am too, I am too. I am falling for you, I am falling for you. I am falling for you.